Hi, did you read the title? Excuse my voice, I'm getting over a cold, so I may sound like I got two thumbs up my nose. SpongeBob is my childhood. Me and SpongeBob go way back.
Goofy ass nigga.
I don't have a crush on SpongeBob. I just want to see how far other people are willing to go. We're not gonna go rated M right off the bat. Maybe one day.
Fuck you think this is, Reddit?
We're just gonna dip our foot in the puddle of sponginess.
Hang on a second.
I have a surprise for you. Are you ready?
Wait.
Look! SpongeBob! Later down the line, I was thinking of maybe doing other SpongeBob characters, like reading fanfics of them. We'll have to see. When I was younger, I actually wrote a couple fanfics, so maybe further down the line, I might embarrass myself and read those too. This fanfic is called SpongeBob Times Reader. There are 4 chapters. We about to read this. It's been 2 years since I left Bikini Bottom. The last time I visited underwater civilization, things were complicated. Well, if you take out the parts where I got to jellyfish at Jellyfish Fields with SpongeBob and Patrick, learn a bit about karate with Sandy, and work at the Krusty Krab, then it's complicated. It got complicated on the first day of my visit to Bikini Bottom. You see, during the vacation, I kind of, started to develop a crush on SpongeBob. Well, you couldn't blame me. He's cute, yellow, I can't read. And his eyes that are bluer than the sky and sea put together. Not to mention his optimistic personality. I knew that we were I can't read. I knew that we were made for each other. But things only get more complicated from there. Okay, so right now we're just trying to understand our feelings. We're trying to understand where we stand with him. You messing with us, SpongeBob? You like what you see, SpongeBob? I'm excited to see where it goes. On the morning of the last day, I was packing my last minute items for the journey home with my pal, Sandy Cheeks. Sandy and I have been friends for a long time. Being mammals, we all have to look out for each other. Dang, I wonder what happened for us to just want to live underwater. She let me stay in her tree dome. As we packed the last minute items, I felt a tear slide past my eye and rolled down my cheek. I knew I couldn't leave Bikini Bottom without shedding some tears. Sandy noticed the sudden change in my behavior. Are you okay, partner? Why the long face? Oh, it's nothing, Sandy. That's not true. Why you crying for? Sandy stated. I was stuck. Sandy knew something was wrong. What could I do? Then I realized that this was a friend that I could trust. I had to spill the beans. Sandy, could I talk to you? Sure thing. You can tell your old pal Sandy anything. Sandy chimed. Thanks, Sandy. I make myself cringe sometimes. Hey, what are friends for? So what'd you want to talk about? Sandy sat next to me. Well, the reason I was crying was because I'm going to miss all you guys. Bikini Bottom has such a friendly neighborhood with lots of adoring sea creatures. I said with a smile. Aw, shucks. I'm gonna miss you too, partner. We're all closer than bark on a tree. I love it. This person really gets it. Sandy always does those comparisons. Is that why you were crying? Sandy said in her Texas accent. Well, you see, since I came to Bikini Bottom, you're the first person I'm going to tell, so please promise not to tell anyone, I pleaded. Well, sure, if it's a secret or something, Sandy promised. I love SpongeBob! I screeched with tears on the verge of breaking through the boundaries of my lashes. Dude, what's wrong? The tears are breaking through the boundaries of my lashes. I need a second. I can admire their tenacity for the vernacular of words. Does that make sense? You know, while reading this, I found out that this was written by an 11-year-old girl. She got talent. She got talent. Well, golly! I always knew you liked SpongeBob, but not like this. She's saying, damn, why are you screaming about it? I didn't know it was that deep. That's what she's saying. Sandy smiled warm-heartedly. Yeah, well, he is cute. You gotta tell him, or you never know if he loves you back. Sandy advised me as I went from scarlet red to... Pale white. I can never tell him. I can't do that. What if he doesn't love me back? I whispered. Well, you never know if you never tell him, bitch. Sandy whispered back as she saw the extent of my tears flow over my cheeks and down onto my bare skin. All right, now we're on to chapter 2. Are you guys with me so far? How we doing? Okay, the reader, aka us, we're freaking out. We love him so much. All those holes all over his body. I could pick which one every other night. Like,
what?
SpongeBob comes with options. Next chapter is called I Know You Care About Me, Right? I guess you're right, Sandy. But what if he turns me down and doesn't want to be friends? Oh, don't worry. SpongeBob isn't a guy who will want to end a relationship with. Sandy reassured me. Yeah, I hope so. Gee, we better get in the boat before the aeroplane misses us. I remembered. Don't worry, pal. We got everything packed and I invited everyone to come. Even SpongeBob. Sandy smirked, making me blush. We gonna see him. We're gonna say, hello, how are you? I'm ready. Are you ready? SpongeBob is coming. Wait, does that mean? You're gonna hate me so much for this. Wait, does that mean? I'm done. I'm sorry. Yeah, you gotta tell him before you leave. I was afraid you'd say that, Sandy. Don't worry, everything will be fine. Remember to wear your air helmet at all times once we leave the tree dome. Sandy warned me whilst she placed her air suit over her bikini. Okay, I sighed as I put the air helmet over my head and got into the boat. Sandy got inside the boat as well and started the engine to drive me to the airport. We both sat in silence for about 2 minutes. So you want to hear some music? Sandy smiled. Yeah, sure, Sandy. I love music. I smiled back. Sandy put the radio on and turned it to Bikini Bottom FM. As the songs played, I started to sing heartily with it. Then the DJ at the BBFM radio station said that one of his listeners had a special announcement. Hey, all you crazy BBFM listeners. SpongeBob SquarePants has a special announcement for a very special friend of his. He wants to wish them the best and safest journey back from home. What a sweet request. I sat there staring at the radio. Did SpongeBob actually go to the trouble of actually making a special request on BBFM? I thought aloud. He sure did, ain't it sweet? Sandy teased. Yeah, I like that this reader is really taking that into account. He paid racks. SpongeBob paid racks to get that message on the radio. I then took out my iPhone, and the first thing I saw were messages from all of my friends. Patrick, Mr. Krabs, Pearl, Mrs. Puff, Larry the Lobster, Plankton, Karen, even Squidward. But no SpongeBob? This reader's kind of getting out of hand. He went onto the radio to say goodbye. Ain't that enough? You don't need more, do ya? Cindy then broke my thoughts by saying, we're here. What? I'm not ready. Is that your problem? I guess I'm just nervous. I'm gonna tell him, aren't I? Don't worry, pal. I got your bag. Sandy said Will's getting out of the boat with me. Sandy's a real one. For real, we all need a friend like Sandy. She's a real one. So, where's everyone you invited? I asked nervously. Well, I invited them to come at 4. It's okay, it's a typo. Well, I invited them to come at 4:30, and it's 4 now. So they all should be here in 30 minutes, Sandy said whilst I trembled. So, in that 30 minutes, should I check in my bags? Yeah, and I don't want to miss the flight, Sandy chuckled. I chuckled back as I got my bags, suitcases out of the trunk. Let me give you a hand. Thank you, Sandy. I really want to know what's up. Like, SpongeBob went out of his way to talk to us on the radio. Sandy's chill. So Sandy and I unloaded the boat and headed into the airport to check the bags. 30 minutes later, I should know better than that. 30 minutes later. I did it.
20 minutes later.
Did you hear that? It's like I'm from France itself.
Oh my god! Wow!
Sandy and I waited in the waiting area for the past 15 minutes as the queue for checking in the bags was really short. We then noticed a gaggle of sea turtles wave at us in the distance. It wasn't clear to tell who was who, as they were all quite far, and living underwater does blur your vision if you look at object far away. If you look at object far away, man, It's a wrap. Don't let me catch you looking at object far away. As the sea creature ran towards us, I could finally make out who was who. I could see Patrick, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, Larry, Mrs. Puff, Pearl, Plankton, Karen, all fancy clothes and holding gifts. I'm so curious about this comment. Karen doesn't wear clothes. Okay, way to ruin the moment, way to ruin the moment. Please tell me there's an orgy. I would read that.
Nice.
Hope we aren't late, Pearl and Mr. Krabs shouted. Nope, just 5 minutes late, but that's okay. This reader, is nothing ever good enough for you? Well, you're a barrel of laughs. Squidward snorted and then burst into laughter as I did. Squidward is a pretty cool squid. Wait, I meant octopus. Sorry, Squidward. He has a great sense of humor and we both also share many of the same interests. Like art, for instance. He's now one of my best friends, to be honest. I know, Squidward. I'm such a hoot, I bragged sarcastically.
Wait, everybody, where's SpongeBob?
Larry shouted whilst interrupting the bond between Squidward and myself. It was low-key shady. He just had to say that. He just had to interrupt me and Squidward's bond. Like, could you not have waited?
I have only loved one woman. Your sister.
Dang, the reader, she kinda... Oh, SpongeBob. Oh no, you didn't invite him, did you? Mrs. Puff hates SpongeBob. Understandably so. Everyone ignored Mrs. Puff's negative behavior. Oh my god, this reader, so passive aggressive. I fucking love it. Everybody ignored Mrs. Puff's negative behavior in search for the yellow porous sponge. Oh no, what if he has forgotten about me leaving? What if I never see him again? I whispered as I began to feel acrimony build up in my stomach. Bitterness or ill feeling. I started a new word today. Finally, a lonely tear leaked its way through the barrier of my eye and dripped through my cheek. We're moving on to chapter 3. It's getting good. It's getting good. Is SpongeBob gonna come? You know, it kind of seems like he'll just come at the end, you know, when you least expect him to come.